Welcome back to GMNC, and as promised, we have Leticia here, the Lens Traveler. Hello, girl. How are you doing?
Hi, Sai. How are you?
Good, good.
Good to be back.
So let's go straight to it. I know last week we had a very, very serious conversation about the story that you broke out. That has to do with the chemical spill that has affected our local lagoon. So just let's do a quick recap for those people that are actually joining us today for the first time, and then we can just talk about the feedback, what has happened from the time we actually spoke.
So yeah, like I just mentioned last week, almost everybody remember there was about 7 weeks ago when we have the riots and the looting. And during those lootings, they looted one of the factories in Kunuria, and there inside there was a warehouse by a company called UPL, and they were storing chemicals and pesticides and a lot of toxins. Now, unfortunately, during the fire, those toxins got into the stormwater systems and made their way all the way to the closest lagoon, which is the uMhlanga Lagoon, and killed all the whole wildlife, so all the marine life. So the whole ecosystem there is dead now. The pollution just didn't stop there. It went into the fields, so all around the factory is being now polluted, the soil, and it got into the Indian Ocean, so which had also affected all around the coast. So dead fish was found in Ushloti and in many areas around that, and from one side of the coast to the other. About 6 weeks ago, there were already some warnings about people not using the beaches, but it was not really clear to the public how bad the situation is. So now we're still 6 weeks or 7 weeks later, and now officially the Etuquini municipality has made another announcement to please advise the public not to use the beaches. No surfing, no playing in the sand, just no fishing. Also not picking up any dead wildlife. So.
And what I find very, very interesting, that when this actually happened, it was only when you actually broke the story out that we all started to, you know, it was very, very peculiar to me, because I'm trying to figure out that when this happened, because the people from that chemical company, you know, they know the chemicals that are there, you know, they should have been the ones the first to actually break the story, but thanks to some hardcore journalism that you actually have, that we're able to hear about the story, and it's and even now, if you really look into it, it's not a lot that's being said, which is very alarming, because I've done my own research when it comes to all the chemicals that have actually come out of there. It is scary, 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 and I do advise people at home that are actually watching this that if you see anything that says do not go to the beach, do not go to the beach, because this is very, very serious. So let's talk about the findings that you've actually found.
So of course everybody wants to find someone to blame, and nobody expected what happened to the factory, well, the looting and the riots. So, but the company specifically has a history of not following the rules and the law. So it's an Indian-based owned company, and they already, in India, they've been sued already for 2 million 5 months ago for another explosion which killed actually 3 of their workers and hurt a few more. I think as the court, New Delhi court, also have another sue against them, or a fine for 20 million because of not doing anything, following the rules and the regulations for decades. So this is not something new. This is, and now it happens now here in Durban. Now, for me, I know people want a guilty party and point the fingers, which is very important, because somebody needs to be responsible. But for me, my biggest issue is I need answers. The public need answers. What sort of chemicals are in the water now? We have not getting the proper list as being, so about 6 weeks ago there was the first test done by UPL, which is kind of, you know, not really, and then now I think there's more government-based and other third parties. They're trying to do some more testing on the ground and air and the water that is polluted. And apparently the Etuquini municipality, they said they have some results and they're waiting for more. So hopefully those results will come out and we will know exactly what is in the water, because like more scientists will say that they can tell when some specific chemical, what it does to a specific, when it touches water or soil.
Or soil,
When you have two, maybe when you have a cocktail of them, you have no idea what the long-term effect to humans, to the ground. So I know this sounds scary, but for now the beaches are closed, and they need to be closed until we know more about what is in those waters. And
yeah, and also following your story and speaking to a few people that are not experts but work in the chemical kind of environment, who have said that it may, when you look at it now, it doesn't look like it's a serious thing, but it's some type of situation whereby in 5 to 10 years time people will start developing symptoms of cancer and stuff like that, which really scared me. But the one thing that really also that is happening right now is the tourism part of it, because a lot of restaurants have actually are not like full in capacity, as opposed to around about this time, because now if you can see that a lot of people like to go to the beach. And if, for instance, I'm not from Durban, I'm coming from outside somewhere, Joburg, and I want to come to a place whereby I can go to the beach. Now the beaches are closed, the restaurants that are close to the beaches are being affected. Have you heard more about that in terms of the tourism industry?
Yes, I mean, you see the numbers, which I will not share today, but like I said, this is not environmental disaster. It just affected different areas, like you said, tourism, and it's scary, and it's going to affect the economy, which was already being damaged by COVID and other factors. So yes, and imagine now until we get this solved, like people cannot go to the beaches, like you said, and it's going to affect the tourism and hotels, and yeah, it's a completely disaster. So we need answers. And like you said, I mean, even surfers, I haven't even, I told someone the other day, I mean, what's going to happen with Balito Pro, which is also another big event that we have in this area, which was already being moved from, supposed to be in July, and now moved to December. That was the rumors. And it might just have to be put on hold for a while. So this is just a chain of very catastrophic events, one after another, just from the chemical spill. So yeah, it's like I said, we're waiting for results, and someone needs to tell us what the next step is, what actions are going to be taken to tackle this problem. Yeah. And
I'm also quite intrigued to find out, moving forward, what is going to be being done by everybody who's actually involved, because the scariest part when I was reading your story is, yes, the wildlife, you know, it's very scary, but the part that they have, that sugar cane company that's close by there, and they're still continuing like nothing happened. You know, the spillage is going into there because it goes into the ground. People are just taking out the sugar cane. Where is the sugar cane going to? You know what I'm saying? It's really, really scary. And I just like the fact that you actually followed up on the story, because it's something that seems like it's not going to affect us now. It's going to affect us in the next generations. You know, our kids, you know, are going to be affected somehow, you know, the adults, you know, in terms of lifespan and stuff like that. It's actually quite scary, but I'm glad that you actually came through and spoke to us, and I would like you to follow it through so that we can keep on getting everybody, you know, filled in with what's going on, because it's quiet. It's scary quiet.
Yeah, no, we, at least, like I said, some of the, more of the government entities are actually now putting the story up there, because, like I said, we also have another explosion and another factory in Durban as well. So things have to change. Also, I know this protocol, whether there's been followed or the companies follow, that's different story, but there needs to be some, because that factory shouldn't have been there in the first place. How does it happen that a factory or in a warehouse containing so many chemicals could be so close to community, school, and most worryable, a river?
Can I say, yeah.
That's, and there was no, they didn't follow, there was no environmental impact report done. So sometimes those companies need to do that. So in case of something happen like this, that they have an action in place to take. Nothing of the sort. So there's a lot of questions, like I said. For me, the worry is, where is the sugar cane that was harvested in the same area, right by the factory, by the polluted soil? Where is going to happen with this water that was pumped out of the rivers and is polluted? Because there was a lot of water being pumped for, you know, weeks, where is the dead wildlife that was collected from the river, and where is it going to be disposed? You can't just dispose something is being polluted that way. So
all facts, all questions, we'd like to know the answers, and I know that you will find the answers. Yes. And definitely you'll be getting the answers here on GMNC. But after the break, we're going to be on a lighter note. We're going to be speaking to Rebecca, who is a 200-meter swimmer. I'm so excited because she's been to Tokyo, and I want to go to Tokyo. And thank you very much, Leticia, for coming through and sharing that story with us. We'll definitely be seeing you same time next week.
Sweet. Cheers.
More after the break.